Hey everyone, and welcome back to Newegg TV. My name is Paul. Today we have a special guest here in our studios. This is Mark from MadCatz. How's it going, Mark?
Good. Thanks for having us here.
Thank you for being here. Mark's also known as Markman, as I understand it, his online handle. So
That's
if you've
correct.
ever gotten your ass beat at Killer Instinct, maybe that was Mark.
Well, hopefully, hopefully I
Hopefully
kicked ass.
you did it. Well, you work with this stuff all the time,
Yes.
so you got to be good at it, right? You got to have
Yes.
some kind of skill.
Well, we experiment with it now and here and there, but I mean, we've been working closely with Microsoft Game Studios and Double Helix with the Killer Instinct project, so we've had a good amount of hands-on time with the game.
Very nice. Speaking of the project and the item that we're talking about today, that's what we really should start off and introduce. So this product has a long name. This is the Killer Instinct Arcade Fight Stick Tournament Edition 2.
Yes.
For Xbox One.
That's pretty good. You got it on the first try.
I did. That's because I was reading it off of the box, in case you guys might have seen that. So this is a new fight stick designed specifically for Xbox One,
That's
of course. And we have an Xbox One here as well.
That's right.
Which you guys might
Surprise.
see. We're excited about that. I'm going to hide it for now. We're going to come back to that. We're going to give you guys some gameplay of Killer Instinct. Mark said he was gonna beat me pretty terribly at it because
I'll try.
Especially
since you've never played
this game ever, so it might be a little nasty. But so let's start off with I guess, where do you guys come from when you're building something like this? MadCatz is known for doing a lot of gaming peripherals, whether you're talking about PCs or consoles, and particularly when it comes to tournament edition fight sticks. There's a pretty large community base around these things. Folks who like playing these types of games, who maybe get their own custom ones. People even get into these and tinker with them. So where did you guys come from when it came to the design and all the features that you were trying to include here?
Well, it all started with the new boom of fighting games back in 2009 when Street Fighter IV released. We worked really closely with Capcom and also with the community itself to actually make sure that we have a product that the community would be proud of owning and actually use. And one of the fondest memories that I have from working since back then is that when I actually go to tournaments, when I actually go to these community events, I actually see people using our product. So that's how we know we made a good product. So since then, we've actually evolved the way that we made arcade sticks. We've made dozens and dozens of arcade sticks since then. Now we're out with the Tournament Edition 2, which is the rightful, I guess, evolution of how we think a next-gen arcade stick should be.
Very nice. And when it comes to working with Xbox, you guys, has this been in development for a while, since it was designed to be a launch day product for Xbox One?
Actually, we've been toying around with the idea of making the Tournament Edition 2 for about 2 years now. So we actually had an original design, and then we figured out we had an opportunity with Double Helix, with Microsoft Game Studios for Killer Instinct. So we kind of reserved the design and all the ideas to work with that team to really create the Tournament Edition 2 and launch it alongside Killer Instinct. Okay.
And a question that I have to ask,
yes,
since my my primary realm of gaming is on the PC, can I plug this into a PC, or will I possibly be able to do that in the future?
Hopefully. I mean, I know Microsoft is planning on releasing drivers for their controllers in the future. Right now, day one, it won't work with the PC, but let's keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully that'll be sooner rather than later.
And I know this is speculation on our part, so don't take this for a promise
we're
or
thinking.
anything, but we're expecting the success of the Xbox 360 controller on PC was so huge that I mean, if they don't, I'm going to be really surprised. So anyway. So hopefully Microsoft will come out with those drivers soon. You can plug this into a PC as well. For now, it works great with the Xbox One. And let's talk about the features. You're mentioning 3 main features of this fight stick that you guys have brought to the table that you're really very proud of. So what would those be? Well,
first off is the core of every fight stick is the parts that you use for it. So we've been working very closely with the community, as I mentioned, and this is over the past 4 or 5 years. We know that there is a standard now. People want a certain element for when they're playing arcade games, when they're playing fighting games, when they're competing. It's something that they can rely on. So we're using authentic arcade parts again this time around. We're using the Sanwa OBSC buttons, which are actually really new to the Tournament Edition series. They're actually clear buttons, translucent. As you can see on the product itself, you actually see the buttons light up now. So that's another thing, is the LED lighting, which is a new feature that we have with this Tournament Edition 2 stick. With the LED lighting, you have 12 different levels of brightness settings for the stick. And it really makes it easy for people to want to be able to customize and modify their stick. And in that regard, this is something that we actually embrace at MadCatz. We actually like it when people are able to mod easily and effectively their arcade sticks and actually really give it their own personal flair, their own personal touch. So aside from that, we have internal access for the stick, which is easier than any other stick that we've done in the past. So all it does is you got to hit the front switch of the arcade stick itself. And then you have the internal access. You just open it up, and there's everything.
Pops right open, and you got access to all the internal controls. So Is this something that people would actually like, let's say the buttons, for some reason, they didn't like the action on them or something like that. People might actually go in there, swap those out, and upgrade it or modify it to meet their personal standards?
Yeah, I mean, some people like Sanwa buttons, which are actually a bit more sensitive than what people might have been used to in the past. Like if they're used to American arcades, you could swap in, say, Mitsu buttons, which actually have a more flat feel. And if you don't like the colors of the buttons, if it's purely aesthetic, you can swap them out and change them just as easy. All you have to do is unplug the quick disconnects, pop them out, and pop a new one back in. It's really easy. We have everything labeled so you won't get lost.
Very nice.
But yeah, we made it really mod friendly, and aside from that, it does have the LED board equipped as well. So there's really a lot that you can really do. And we'll open it up later on so you can really see how easy it is to swap out the parts or even the artwork if you wanted to.
So that would be the third element that we were talking about, apart from the arcade quality components and the LEDs that we have in there. You'll notice it ships, of course, with the Tournament Edition 2 Killer Instinct artwork that you can see right here, which is quite nice. But people like to personalize things, so that's another thing you can do is swap that artwork out in a much more simple manner than perhaps was available in the past.
Yeah, let's say you don't like these characters, you want to put like your bunny rabbit on there or something, you can easily do that. Just print out the artwork. We'll have a template available on our website. We'll have some extra artwork available on our website. You'll be able to download those on day one once they're out and just print it out, swap it on your stick. It's real easy.
I like bunnies, so.
Me too.
I'm probably gonna go with the bunny
and cats.
Bunnies and cats. And Mark's, by the way, over here is plugged in, so you can see those LEDs lit up quite nicely. All right, so we're going to come back to this in just a minute because, as we mentioned, we're going to do kind of a quick teardown and show you guys how to replace the artwork at least. We've already given you a quick look at the inside. Actually, before we move into talking a little bit more about the game, since this is a Killer Instinct branded product, kind of a co-op thing, let's talk about other elements of this.
Sure.
So what do we have up here on the top? These are pretty much mimicking the Xbox One controller.
Yeah,
buttons?
pretty much this is the control panel, which is what we like to call it. It helps with the navigation of the system. So you have the Xbox button itself, which really lets you get into the menus and actually interact with the system. We also have two other switches here. And we have on and off for the LED lightings, and there's also a button labeled as haptic. What haptic does, it actually gets the vibration data from the game. So let's say it's supposed to vibrate when you get hit. You'll actually be able to have the lights flash on the stick to represent that or to reflect that. Unfortunately, Killer Instinct doesn't support vibration, but in future fighting game titles that do implement that, you'll be able to see that in your arcade stick when you're playing. And then we also have a lock and unlock switch. This actually stemmed from the community. Working with the community, there's a lot of things that happen in tournament play that could actually make or break your experience. So let's say you're playing and all of a sudden the guide button pops up or the start, you actually pause the match. What this lock switch does, it prevents any of the use from the control panel, so you can't accidentally hit the guide button while you're playing, or the pause button, so you can't really pause the game on accident. So
and those would be the last two buttons located on the back there.
So on the back you can see the view. This is actually the view and the menu button for Xbox One. And there's a reason why we put it on the top of the stick, so it's not on the face, so you don't accidentally hit it while you're like mashing away or trying to break out of a combo or something like that.
And that actually, you already mentioned the arcade quality internals that you guys are using here, but is that, I mean, these are designed to take some damage.
They are designed to take a beating. They are rated for a pretty high amount of hits.
If you imagine like an 8-year-old in an arcade just mashing on the buttons, they're pretty much meant to stand up to that kind of abuse.
Yeah, this is exactly the kind of buttons that they use in Japanese arcades. So they are very commonplace, and it's easy to replace if you ever need to do that.
Beautiful. All right. Well, next up, let's take a quick look at Killer Instinct, since we do have it running right here. And Mark's gonna kick my ass at it.
I'll try.
All right, let's go. So Mark, how would you describe Killer Instinct? You've played this game for a little while now, I would imagine?
Yeah, I mean, Killer Instinct has a lot of throwbacks to the original title, but it's a completely different game. So one of the things that a lot of people will notice is that the characters are very different. They're not really cloned or similar to what's out there. So there's 6 distinct experiences within each character. They all play very different. They all have unique actions and attributes. And we should just get into it. So, like you were just mentioning that you like really playing Blanca in the Street Fighter series.
I did used to play Blanca back in the day.
I think he's more like a Saberwolf type character. A lot of back-forward motions able to get in there. So just hit the menu button on the top of your stick, or the start would be on the back side. There you go. There you go. So there's Saberwolf.
I'm already Saberwolf.
So there's 6 characters that are going to be available at launch. You get Jago for free for when you download the free version of the game. You could get either the Ultra or the combo version of the game, which depending on what the pricing is going to be. But there are 6 characters available. You have Jago, Orchid, Saberwolf, Sadira, who's a new character in the series, Thunder, and then also Glacius. So you have a lot of the classics, a lot of the old school characters. And then I think we should just get into it.
All right, I'm going to go for Saberwolf since that's
Are you one of those players that can just talk and hold a conversation while you're playing, or do you like
I'll
really
do
need
my
to focus?
best if I just kind of like taper off and stop saying sentences that make sense and whatnot. Please forgive me, but I'm guessing, like I said, this is going to go quickly anyway. But who knows? Perhaps.
The game is very similar. I mean, if you're familiar with the Street Fighter style button type, so you have punches at the top, kicks at the bottom.
Okay.
3 different strengths going from left to right. So it's fairly basic in that aspect, and then you have different meters. So you have the instinct meter that you'll see under your life bar, and then other than that, you have the super meter on the bottom, or your shadow meter, I should say. And once that fills up, you're able to do special versions of the moves by hitting 2 of the attack buttons at the same time.
Oh, okay. All right, and up to jump and all that good stuff.
Yep, all the good stuff. Back to block.
Oh, I can run and stuff too. Hey.
And then once you're in a sequence like this, one of the things you got to remember is those combos are not guaranteed. You could actually break out of the combos.
Oh, okay.
So the way you do the combo breakers is by hitting 2 of the attacks that are the same strength. So you could hit both weak attacks, both medium attacks, or both heavy attacks while you're getting hit.
Okay.
So if I'm going to open up a combo on you and I could go ahead and do my starter into like a heavy attack, you could hit both heavy attacks and break out of the combo.
Okay. And you said heavy is on the left?
The one's all the way on the right.
Okay.
So like, let's say I hit you with that and I hit those. If you hit both heavy attacks. I'm not sorry, not the far right, the third row.
the red ones, sorry.
Yeah, the red ones. So you're able to break out of the combo just like that.
I see you were trying to keep me away from those far right buttons because I got to throw them. Gotta throw. All right.
So yeah, it's a very mind game heavy driven game. And then once you're able to actually get more familiar with the game and how each character plays, you're really able to control the way you live or die in this game, really. So if you guess wrong on the combo breaker, you're pretty much screwed.
So I keep thinking I'm doing a move, but actually I think I'm just telling him to run across the arena straight at you. So that that looks painful. All right. Hey, at least it's not a perfect. That's all I'm saying.
If you want a perfect, I could give it to you. Oh, nice! You did a shadow move right there.
Oh, there we go.
Knocked me right out of it.
Nice. So you're saying that you're taking it easy on me, Mark?
We got to make it look good for the camera, right?
Oh wait, this is round 2 now.
Round 2. So you actually have 1 continuous life bar, and then the life bars don't reset for each round.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So as soon as both life bars are depleted, then that's really when it ends.
Ah. Kind of like a survival mode I've seen in some games. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
I'm
Able
doing
to get some hits and combos.
I like that little short swipe he does, just a little.
Yeah, just knock him right out of the air.
Oh goodness. All right.
Oh, activated instinct mode. So when you're in that mode, you're able to do more damage and actual chip damage. If I'm just sitting there and blocking, you'll actually be, oh, nice combo breaker.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I meant to do that.
And that's really one of the great things about the game is like no matter what game level you're at, you're able to just go in there and actually do some damage.
And especially with these controllers, I just like push all the buttons at once, and hopefully I will do something. Oh, or I will. And I'm dead.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Mark. That was refreshing.
No problem.
All right. So that's gonna wrap up our gameplay demo portion of this because I don't know if I can handle another.
Hey, the game just came out. I'm sure you'll get revenge on me within a week or so.
I'm gonna get some more practice in, and we'll see how that goes. But next up, since we were talking about some of the customizability of the fight sticks here, let's go ahead and pop it open. We're gonna do a quick swap of the artwork.
Sure thing.
All right. All right, guys. So we have invited Nathan over. He's gonna give us some technical support here, and we're gonna start off with a swap of the artwork. So why don't we get started?
Cool. So yeah, as Paul mentioned, we have Nasty Nate here in the office. We're going to be showing you really what you can do with the TE2 and how easy it is to open it up and modify it. So let's go ahead and crack it open. And one of the things that the Tournament Edition 2 Fight Stick comes with, it comes with its own special tool. It's a two-way tool that lets you open either through the hex screws, which is the majority of the screws on the Tournament Edition 2, or the flathead. And the flathead part of the screwdriver itself will let you take off the ball top, which will give you access to the artwork panel. So what he's going to do is really quickly, he's going to show you that how easy it is to be able to swap out the artwork. And like we mentioned earlier, we're going to have extra art panels available and a template available online on our site at launch. So right now he's going to go ahead and it comes with this stock artwork that you see with the Killer Instinct characters, and I know a lot of people love Killer Instinct, but there's some people that just don't like character artwork. They're like, man, I don't like that character. I want something more plain, more clean. So what we did is we just went ahead and printed out one of these, our printers at work, and cut out the holes, and then all we have to do is just swap it in, and that's what Nate's going to do right now.
So is there a template online if folks want to go. And,
yeah,
and
it'll be available at madcatz.com. We'll have a web blog post of it.
Okay.
So as soon as that's out, we'll make sure to tweet it or Facebook it.
Very nice. And great that you guys have the tool included.
Yep.
If I am absent-minded and I lose the tool, are we still talking pretty standardized components?
It's pretty standard. It's a 3mm hex screw.
Okay.
And it's just a standard flathead screwdriver.
Okay.
So you're not stuck with that one.
You're safe either way. Great to have the tool there, but
that's right.
If you're like me and you're constantly, I have like my favorite screwdriver and I always misplace it. I either misplace it or people steal it.
It's probably people steal it.
It's yeah.
Oh, that's a good screwdriver.
It's like most of the time it's stolen, and then sometimes it's really my fault that I've misplaced it. But so how long would this process have taken, say like with earlier versions of other fight sticks that you guys have had?
Oh yeah, so like on the original tournament edition sticks or a lot of the fight sticks that were out in the market, it would probably take like anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how fast you are. If you wanted to actually do, providing you had the tools and the know-how to swap out artwork on an arcade stick.
Okay.
What we've done with the tournament edition too is we've simplified all that and try to make it as streamlined as possible. So all you have to do is remove 8 of the screws.
Okay.
And then the top bezel will pop off as you have.
Like there.
And then once you have the top bezel off, all you really have to do is take off the ball top, which is actually blocking where the plexi is that holds the artwork in place.
Okay.
So once you take off the ball top, you're pretty much good to go. The way we have the buttons engineered and in place is they're sitting on small little islands. So instead of the buttons actually snapping them down and hugging on the artwork, we actually have them elevated. So it still plays at the normal height, but also you have access to that artwork if you need to.
Okay.
So he's able to just swap it out right there. So now he has the artwork. He's going to rip that off.
I imagine this.
Actually, you don't even need to rip off the artwork. All you have to do is just place your new work.
Put the new one on over.
Yeah,
I imagine this would be great for cleaning as well. After you've had it for a while and get some dust up under there, you can pop it off.
That's right.
Again more easily. And I also wanted to mention when it comes to build quality for something like this, I really like that you guys have metal inserts here for all of the screws.
Yeah, that would be one of the worst things. Let's say like if you're swapping out the artwork constantly and then you're using plastic bits and stuff like that.
Plastic. Oh,
you don't want it to wear. You want to be able to just be able to swap it out.
So great to have that there. You're not going to be wearing out your plastic every time you do a swap here.
So you see, just like that, in a matter of minutes, you're able to put in your own artwork, give it a unique new look, and it'll be interesting. I want to really see what the community and just gamers in general are able to come up with and how cool they're able to make it look. I know we're having our own sticks in the office, and we're all putting our own favorite artwork from our different favorite games and stuff like that, and it's really, really cool.
Yeah, great way to personalize.
Yep.
One thing that I did want to say about these fight sticks is I'm really hoping that Microsoft comes out with that driver, because I know we were discussing earlier Mike Ross, friend of the show. He's been on
friend
here
of the community, friend of the show.
And we built him a gaming PC.
Yeah, I saw that. That was really cool.
And I know he would love to get one of these. And are you guys going to maybe hook him up with one of these?
I will take care of Mike Ross. Right. Mike Ross is a good man, not just for gaming in general, but he's also a good dude.
Maybe he could get get better than 4th place if he had.
Ooh, everyone knows about it. Even Newegg knows about the 4th place.
I'm sorry, Mike.
That has to make it to the video.
I hope it does. I don't know if I hope it does. It's like we were cool up till now. Now he's gonna hate me.
Yeah. No, I'm sure he'll retweet the video anyways.
Mike loves some good-natured ribbing.
Yeah. He could dish it out too, though, so it's worth it. So just like that, Nate's able to finalize the final screws.
Actually, that's another question I was going to ask. Is going back to some the old way that you might have done this. Was it even that user accessible, or is this something where you're going to have to be undoing glue and something like that?
Yeah, in the past, with the way that the arcade sticks were designed, and a lot of different arcade sticks, is you would actually have to get the artwork printed out either professionally and then order some kind of plexiglass solution, or maybe print out a sticker and apply it yourself. Really kind of eliminating the default option that you have with the arcade stick. With the Tournament Edition 2, you don't have to throw away the original artwork. You can keep it there, and all you have to do is just really add to the stick. There's nothing really holding you back from how it originally was. So if let's say you don't like your artwork, as we mentioned, just a couple of minutes, a printer and some paper, and you're good.
Very nice. So there we go, guys. Quick demo of swapping out the artwork here on the new fight stick from MadCatz. All right, guys. Well, that is going to wrap it up for this video. I want to say a huge thank you to Mark for coming along and sharing all this info with us.
Thanks again for having us. And if you guys want more information or you just want to get the product, make sure you guys get it at newegg.com. Also follow MadCatz on Twitter. It's at MadCatz, MadCatz. And then also we're on Facebook at MadCatz Inc.
All right, so if you guys want to have some interaction there, or find out more information? Because I imagine you guys, like you said, are maybe selling additional accessories or...
Yeah, well, that's one of the plans is we want to have a set of accessories to go alongside with the tournament edition too. Not at launch, but in the near future for sure.
All right, guys. So once again, click the link in the description if you guys are interested in checking this product out over on Newegg. Thanks again, Mark, for stopping by. Thanks to all you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button down there. Leave us a comment if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you all next time.